Halo is now 20 years old. I know it's not even ready to vote yet, but we have Bungie to thank for the existence of this venerable franchise and perhaps the longevity of the Xbox console itself. Not to be outdone, Bungie celebrated their anniversary in a big and perhaps a very familiar way. Bungie decided to release some all-new in-game content for their game, Destiny 2, along with a batch of weapons that, honestly, looked like they fell straight out of the Halo universe. From a design that was clearly inspired by Master Chief's iconic pistol, to swords that bear more than just a striking resemblance to a certain Covenant energy sword that we all know and love, these are certainly some very clear homages to the Halo playground that Bungie created and eventually sold to Microsoft to fund their new adventure.
For better or for worse, Bungie will always be linked to the juggernaut they built when they created Halo, and the most recent Halo release seems to be borrowing some inspiration just as liberally from Destiny series of games.
Halo Infinite finally took the leap into having an open world map. Very first Halo that ever decided to do that, with an emphasis on exploration and participating in instanced events that all around the map, which are hallmarks of the gameplay in the Destiny series, and never previously associated with the Halo franchise. The largest commonality between the two is the way that Halo Infinite has been clearly built in the games as service business model, with the ability to continue to add on to the game for years to come without needing to add a new number to the title, hence, the name Infinite. Both Destiny and Halo are in a position to inspire each other to iterate on their own ideas as well as improve on the other's concepts. And as a fan of both franchises, this is a good thing. While they cannot collaborate in the traditional sense for legal reasons, pushing each other to become the best versions of themselves is good for them, it's good for their fan bases, ultimately, it's good for the product that they're creating.
The reality about reaching a point of comfort and stagnation in our lives is that this tends to occur the most when we no longer surround ourselves with like-minded believers who challenge us and push us to grow into all that Christ has designed for us.
The worst video games ever made tend to occur in a vacuum where critical feedback is ignored, boundaries are not explored, and parity reigns supreme. When gaming developers no longer check the pulse of the world around them for relevance, or listen to feedback from sources other than those that validate their own opinions, they tend to drop some pretty big clunkers, like Battlefield 2042.
And similarly, if we do not surround ourselves with those who will hold us accountable to our destiny and press us towards the infinite knowledge and wisdom of Christ, we will also remain stagnant in our faith and fail to achieve all that the Lord has for us down here.
Here is the question we all must answer. Do we actively seek out and engage ourselves with fellow believers who force us out of our comfort zones, press us deeper into unfamiliar territory, and challenge us to continue to build on the foundation of our faith? Or do we surround ourselves with voices that keep us in a nice, safe, comfortable place, limiting our growth and preventing us from exploring the deepest parts of our calling?
Foundations were designed to be built on, and as a community of believers, we are challenged with both outreach as well as upward growth. The more we build upon the foundation of Christ in our personal lives, the greater our impact will be as we reach out with the love of Christ to others.
It is through the intentional intersection of our faith with others that helps us to find these new challenges and collaborate to overcome them. Our enemy would like nothing more than for each of us to find a nice, quiet place and continue to do the same thing day after day and serve Christ in our own little safe, predictable, private corner of the world.
But as we see with the unique way that both Halo and Destiny continue to acknowledge and push each other to refine their games and grow their audience, we need the iron sharpening fellowship of those who will encourage us to leave our comfortable sandbox and explore the places we would have never dared to attempt on our own.
It is dangerous to go alone. We learned that way back in Legend of Zelda. But it is even more dangerous not to go at all and remain alone in the safety and security of the cave. Let's commit ourselves to seek godly fellowship and accountability with those who comfort us and challenge us in growing in our faith. A deeper destiny of infinite possibilities awaits, but only if we are prepared to build each other up together.